What it do, Bean Crew? Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Comments with your boy Savon Thomas. And today's episode is going to be really good. We're going to review the movie ICU on Netflix. Fantastic movie. It's a horror thriller type of movie. Kind of eerie vibes you get into. But we'll get into this right after our intro. Again, welcome back, Bean Crew. This is a review of the movie ICU on Netflix. Changing it up a little bit. Typically, we had our intro in the very beginning. We're going to put it kind of in the middle where we used to put like the clips from the movie. But now we're just going to have no trailer anymore. Because I know I've been getting in trouble with like copyright from the trailers. I've kind of figured it out a little bit on how not to get copyright strikes. But there's still a few episodes that have copyright strikes. I'm trying to like get away from putting the trailers in there. You guys can just go watch the trailers. Hopefully my review is good enough for you guys to go and go watch the movie in the first place, or maybe avoid the movie, hopefully, if it's a bad movie. But ICU on Netflix, this was recommended to me by my sister. She was Sierra Thomas is her name. I know she probably wants me to shout her out, so shout out to my sister Sierra Thomas. But she was so adamant on Mother's Day about me watching this movie. I looked it up, and you guys know me. Not a horror guy at all, right? I can do slashers, but like demonic stuff, not really a big fan of some of that stuff. So she told me about this movie, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch it. But she was like, no, it's really good. It's a thriller movie. And honestly, this was a really good movie. Like, I really enjoyed this. This is a Netflix movie. I think it's Netflix. It's on Netflix. I think Netflix made it. I don't remember specifically, but it is a very enjoyable film. I'm going to give away a little bit of the movie, just so you guys know. So here's your spoiler warning. Because you need to know some of the details in order to enjoy the movie. Because when you're first watching it, like you tune in, you read kind of the caption of the movie, and you're like, okay, it's like a haunting type movie. That it's like the family's getting haunted by these different people or whatever, right? And you start watching it, you start thinking like, okay, they're being haunted, stuff like that. But that's not what's going on in this movie at all. It is about phrogging, right? If you guys don't know what phrogging is, it's not frog as in F-R. It is phrogging as in P-H-R-O-G, right? Frogger, phrogging. And what it is there's a little thing, it's a real life thing, where people will sneak into people's houses and try to live in their attics or crawl spaces for, weeks on end. Sometimes, I've heard of it actually happening out in Austin, where I'm from, but people like living in people's attics without them knowing, right? So the whole premise of it is kind of like, again, similar to like a game Frogger. It's like you don't want to get caught. Like you want to live in their house, live off their food, and kind of just mooch off of them. Some people have like a time frame. Like in the movie, the time frame is they move houses every 4 to 5 days, or stay there in the house for 4 to 5 days and then move. So some of these, some people have like a time frame. Some people just want to live as long as possible about this. And you can Google this. Like this is not like this is a real thing people do. Like, it's kind of weird to think about. And so, these Phroggers move into this family's house and start tormenting them. But the crazy thing about this is there's such a twist with the family, with the Phroggers, and everything that goes on in this movie. It is phenomenal. Now, as far as, like, the acting goes, acting wasn't crazy. There's no, like, big name actors, I would say, in this movie. I will say this one thing about the mother. The mother plays zero part in this movie. Like, she has no, I don't say no depth, because her character doesn't have any depth, but she just annoyed me the whole movie. First of all, her lips were so thin. Like, I get it, white people, I'm black, I have big lips, but I was like, damn, her lips are like razor sharp thin. Like, what's wrong with this lady's lips? But when I was watching the movie, I was like, she really didn't play a part in this movie. Like, so kind of a little backstory about the situation. There's this family that are in the process of getting divorced. The wife cheated on the husband. The wife still has her lover, and you actually see the lover come into play. The husband's a police detective. The son is about 16 years old, roughly, a high school age kid. Obviously lives with his parents, and he's kind of dealing with like his animosity towards his mom, stuff with his dad. Dad's focused on work. There's these kids being kidnapped. Going on, stuff like that. And then there's a whole situation that goes on with like kidnapping with the phrogging. And it's just like when you watch this movie, there's such a twist where at the end you're like, wow, that happened, wow. And that's what got me on the movie, because it starts off so slow. Like, it is so freaking slow in the beginning, and you're just like, what is going on? Like, because you're thinking it's being haunted, and you're like, what's going on? Trying to piece things together, but then once everything gets pieced together, you're just like, damn, that took a turn that I did not expect. Even the last ending piece of it, you're like, really? I was very impressed by this movie. So if you can't tell, I liked it. Because it makes you think a little bit. It is more of a thriller. I like thriller movies. That's kind of like my I don't say my bread and butter, but I do enjoy them. Now, the ones that start tearing at horror, which most of them do, I'm like, miss me with that. But overall, good movie. I gave it an 8.2 out of 10. I was leaning like 7.8, but I did read IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and their reviews, and I was like, I'm kind of similar to what you're thinking, so I want to go like a little bit above that, because I think my review, typically I'm like a little bit above IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes, I don't really agree with most of the reviews, as you guys know. Their audience scores, typically I'm like right around there. The audience gave us like a 78 or 79, so I'm like right around there. So I was like, when I read it, I was like, dang, I shouldn't read that, because I like to get my number out first before I look at the reviews. And so, but 8.2 is what I like this movie a lot. Like, it was very enjoyable, good watch. Not a long movie either. I think it's like an hour and 30 minutes to runtime, or maybe it's 2 hours, but it's not. It's like, it's shorter than that. So go check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are. That's my review. Coffee and comments.